Welcome everybody to another episode of Earworm. My name is Tim Malone. My friend here, my co-host, young master Zachary. Uh, I'd really dig the hat this week, Zach. Um,
It's a
we
nice
like,
new one. We went down to the game the other day and just, they got their asses handed to them, but we walked out with some good swag. So debuting this one today for the
yes.
people.
So the takeaway from that is everybody out there, all our listeners, please ask Zach not to go to another Phillies game because he's not helping us. But are they winning tonight? Like, well, for goodness sakes. Okay,
I
last
think
time
they're down 2-1, two to
okay.
one to Miami right now.
All
So
right. But
we
I'm digging the hat.
still suck. Thank you.
There, right there. No, it's tied up there, dude. See that?
Hey, let's go. Come on now. Come on, have faith.
Sees the good luck charm over here.
Let's
Um,
go.
Zach, you and I preceding this episode, we're talking about some music news. Um, some of it was extremely interesting. Something talking Ariana Grande, something about like Justin Bieber,
Yeah,
something.
just kind of running through the gambit here. I'm looking up some news and I see Ariana Grande's Nona. I don't know her name, sorry. But she always looked and acted like a sweet woman. She just passed away.
Oh, I'm
99
sorry.
years old.
Well, good
99 years
run.
old.
That's a heck of a run.
Good old Italian Nona. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So rest in peace to her.
Yes.
Dolly Parton's gonna get an honorary Oscar for something. I'm sure she deserves it because she is incredible.
Some of my favorite songs are by her. We can go into that one episode as well.
But then I saw something else here, and it's weird because if you so we're getting into a little Justin Bieber here, real quick. Not so much the music, but you've seen the decline in his appearance over the years, right? When he came on YouTube and he was this little, pop, whatever, had his nice haircut and clean shaven, and then he started to get tattoos and shit. Now he kind of just looks like he's roaming around Kensington.
Right.
But
Jesus.
yeah, sorry, a little rough. But it just says he admits he has anger issues and feels broken. Um, I kind of like long overdue, maybe.
I mean,
Like good for coming out finally, but
I think it's a valuable thing to come out with to check oneself, if you will. Like, hey, if I got some issues, I'm gonna bring them to my boys, like at the corner.
you
Like,
gotta
hey
let him out.
guys, yeah. But there are so many rumors, and I don't want to go down that path with young master Justin. He's probably older than you, though. Um, I mean, there's got to be so much going on. He's lived in this world since what? He was 12,
Yeah, around
13,
that, and
11?
I don't want to sound like I'm saying like, oh, come on, buddy, like
Yeah,
ask for help, and this is great for you for coming out for, but I just like seeing him on social media and stuff over the years. I was getting a little worried about it, so this is probably a step in the right direction for good old Justin Bieber. So
yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you know my education background, and that's my world. That was my world for a really long time. Ask for help. Let's talk about it.
let's talk about it. Let's get Justin back. Let's get him
Yeah,
back. The world's a
yeah.
better place when he's pumping out hits.
I mentioned there is a couple tunes by him that they're definitely listenable, and I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. And that's the big takeaway that I have from basically our listening audience. We are talking about Bruce Springsteen's, and it brings excuse me Springsteen, and it brings in, of course, politics this time and in the world, if you will, in the United States, etc. And you know what? If you put out a good song, I could care less. If you're not hurting children or hurting other people, here we go, like physically hurting, of course. Um,
Right there
here we,
with you, buddy. Let's do it.
yeah, like there are some really good songs by some really, really creepy people. I mean, creepy, like they believe in the occult or something. But regardless, I'm like, all right, here we go. They're gonna smoke, grass and not like marijuana, like grass that they cut off their front lawn or something. Like, all right,
All right. What song we got this week, Timmy?
Oh yeah, I know. We went on a tangent there. We've been talking about this. We've been laying out episode schedules and stuff, and we want to have continue to have guests and the like. We had two so far. We'll have one coming up in here in a couple of weeks. Maybe we'll talk about that at the end of the show. But I came up and I want to go all over the gamut. I had left my wallet in El Segundo. I had the outfield. Your Love. And now I'm going with like an all-time classic song, um, American Pie, Don McLean. Like if you're 10 years old, maybe go back to 8 years old and older, and you're getting the lay of the land of the music world, it's very hard to walk around, I would say the United States at the very least, and not hear this song on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I hear it on the radio a lot, but
Right.
like in that sense, you're saying like a father teaching his son about music or the history of music. This is a song that's going to come up. It's it's not overly played, but it's one when you're talking about music, this has to be brought up. It's what, 8.5 minutes long. It's
Yeah.
got so much deep meaning and it's kind of I mean it's on purpose. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
he makes you read into it and think and there've been so many different translations of this song over the years and that kind of it's got the staying power. You know, that's why it went I think what 50 years is the number one longest song or whatever, something like that. I forget what exactly, but it just got overtaken by, and I hate to say Taylor Swift, you know, but one of those 8 minutes and 45 seconds or whatever that hit number one. So she just overtook him. I think it was 50 years. So very impressive stuff.
Yeah, so just to give some timelines about it, this song came out in my birth year,
Hey,
1972. Okay, here
there
we
we
go.
go.
Uh, and it references a really, really sad day in the American music scene. And you know what? Let's go bigger. Like in the music scene, in the grand scheme of things, person like Buddy Holly is probably known around the world on a regular basis. And this happened on February 3rd, 1959. Uh, Heck, my parents were teenagers at the time, and I asked them if they even remember, and they're like, I heard about it. And like, regardless, um, three world famous singers, pop singers at the time, hopped on a plane in an American tour. And part of the reason they hopped on this plane is to avoid uh, icy roads during like a quasi snowstorm, winter storm. And Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and Buddy Holly all passed away in a plane crash on February 3rd, 1952. And Don McLean, 13 years later, probably affected him so much he had to write about it. And that's my takeaway from it. But I mean, listening to the lyrics, you sit there and you got these little minutia takeaways of, like the one that stands out to me, and we sang dirges in the dark the day the music died. Zach, my question for you right now, what's a dirge?
I'm gonna need your help with that one here, Timmy.
A dirge is actually a funeral song. It's like it comes from like a European vernacular, like Germanic language. It's everyone came together and they would sing these sad songs at these funerals that everybody knew, and it was not necessarily celebratory, but it was kind of sit there and like, all right, we lost one of our friends or our family members.
Celebration of life-esque.
Esque, but it was like, yes, a dirge is a sad song, or,
Yeah.
or it's heard sadly, if you will. So, I mean that I mean you sit I mean it is a long song, but most people, I mean, Zach, I'm probably guessing that you would know most of the lyrics when it came on, right?
Yeah, so when you pick this song, so this will tell you I don't hear it a lot, but when you told me we were going to talk about this song, I went to play it. I brought the lyrics up, and after one listen through, I remembered everything. It was I remember it's 8 minutes plus long, and you
Oh,
still after one listen. you remember the parts of the song. So it took me one read through or one listen through, but yeah, it they pop right back to it.
Yeah. It's fairly impressive to me. I mean, I remember hearing it, and as a child, hearing it, and I didn't learn about the backstory probably until I was like a teenager. Heck, maybe until I was in my 20s. That it was in reference to the day that those three pop artists passed away in a tragedy. But I mean, it affected this gentleman enough, Don McLean, that he wrote this song for 8.5 minutes. And it's funny that you brought that up because I didn't even know that. I didn't. I sat there and
Me either.
yeah, 8.5 minutes is a
So I guess what do you hear the radio version? Is that like half, like the first half of it, and then it like skips to the end or something like that? I
that's a
forget what.
that's a curiosity because it's a pretty long song on the radio. I mean, our place of interest that we might have a beverage here or there on the adult side. Occasionally, they have WMGK on. It's played there on their speakers on a fairly regular basis. And I mean, when you said 8.5 minutes, I'm like, it doesn't seem that way. And now
It
I'm gonna have to.
doesn't. It doesn't. I think when you don't play it and you're doing something like it's obviously it's background noise, but it just kind of it has a way of getting to the end. It doesn't just drag on. It's the same beat, obviously, but
Understood.
because it's different wording in there, it kind of changes a little bit. And then towards the end, when it really slows back down, dude, that part really
Yeah.
hits you. So I don't know if that's the part that is missing from the radio that makes it just a little bit shorter.
Uh,
But yeah,
th-
it
I,
doesn't really feel like eight minutes plus.
That's a curiosity that I think the two of us need to follow up on because my next, heck, I hop into my vehicle or vehicles on a regular basis. I'm going to play it off the off Apple iTunes or Amazon Music, compare it to the radio version we hear on a regular basis because I know the slow part is in the radio version on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So I did some research about some other people were involved in this tour, and there was a really famous musician who was involved in the tour and became really, really big after this tragedy. And the name of the tour was actually called the Winter Dance Party.
Oh God. Come on, man.
I
Just
mean,
a layup.
I know. I'm looking at my notes and I was like, oh my God, it's a winter dance party, really. But so Big Bopper was sick and he wasn't originally scheduled to go on the plane. It was gonna be Buddy Holly and his bassist and Richie Valens, and they were gonna go there and they were gonna get to the next location to avoid all the icy roads. And it was a someone who came out to be after that over the next, I think he passed away about 43 years after this, but he became one Waylon Jennings.
Really?
He was the bassist for Buddy Holly.
So he was supposed to be on the flight, or yeah, he was supposed
Yeah.
to be on the flight because the other guy was sick. He took his spot. Wow.
Yeah, he gave up his seat for Buddy Holly because Buddy Holly was under the weather. And the one thing that gives me chills, if you can zoom in, like I got
Get the auto
goosebumps.
zoom.
Look at that. I got like goosebumps right there. So Buddy Holly came over to him. He says to him, it's like, "Waylon, you're not coming?" And they're like all joking around. He goes, "Oh man, I hope your bus freezes. It freezes up on the way." And Waylon Jennings, through many interviews, turned around and said to him, probably something the Quarter Boys would say. Well, yeah, really. I hope your plane crashes.
God damn.
And he interviewed his pretty much the rest of his life, saying that like affected him. I can't even imagine. Like,
Oh, worst nightmare.
could you?
Worst nightmare type stuff.
I mean, this is, it's, you're thinking these are young people, so you're going to play with your friends when you're starting out here. So they must have been friends.
Yeah, at
That,
least maybe not friend, but friendly
yeah.
enough to say something like that on the way out, I guess. I wouldn't say that to somebody I just met, but somebody that I've spent a little bit of time with, I guess would, you know, think
But
about it. But
I it's absolutely crazy to me when I read that story, and I had vaguely remembered this, but I didn't remember who the specific artist was. Like, and then it popped up as Waylon Jennings, and I mean Waylon Jennings, he's one of the outlaws, like the late '70s, early '80s, Willie Nelson, and like, brrr, like out there, yeah.
say it for the other side, how that, Buddy Holly's scene would, it's both ways, but yeah, that's insane.
It's crazy to me, and so it's you kind of relate it to like imagine I don't know, you could compare it to like three artists that were so popular in our youth, and all of a sudden boop, they're gone. I mean, I was sitting here over the last like 36 hours or so trying to think of like what other songs are related like to like such a tragedy to this, or what other songs could be looked at as this like sad. And like I mean I had a really hard time. Like I just I mean it is a very very good song, and then because it stands alone on itself, even you don't even know the background. And like I mean off the top of your head, could you think of one that like, oh my God, every time I hear about it, it freaking scares me?
Not necessarily a song, but well, I guess he's in show tunes and also Seth MacFarlane. You know that name?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So creator of Family Guy and all that kind of stuff. So it's similar to that story where he was supposed to be on the flight on 9/11.
Oh yeah, 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 you're right.
So it's not so much music, but it's like, and it's hard to think about this, but like, imagine if he was on that flight. It would be like when Steve Jobs passed away. Imagine if he didn't pass on his stuff.
All these ideas
But
at the very least.
it's
Yeah.
it's kind of the same but different. The I guess department, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word. Um, but yeah, that's just timing is crazy. I see the goosebumps. Damn.
I'm sorry, but the one that stood out to me in a completely weird kind of different segue, I remember walking through, I think it was like Macy's in King of Prussia, and I had heard about there's a band called Frightened Rabbit. Have you ever heard of Frightened Rabbit out of England?
Right, and Wabbit?
Frightened Rabbit.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
kind of an alternative country band. I think we're finding a theme with the host Tim here, or a host of ours, Tim here. Um, so I remember hearing about this guy committing suicide, and he wrote a song years before called "Swim Until You Can't See Land." Swim until you can't see land. I swim. So I remember like hearing about this guy passed away, and I'm walking through. And I think it was like Christmas time, and I'm doing Christmas shopping at Macy's, and I think I just randomly went back to my car after shopping, looked it up on my phone. So this guy, he wrote this song probably like a decade before "Swim Until You Can't See Land," and it's a heartbreak song. And then he like broke up with his wife or girlfriend, or whatever, and then swam into the North Sea and bye, never came back. I, I bet you I bet you, I mean, if someone to do the research, there's probably other songs like that, but that came up to me because I was like, holy crap, man.
I mean, talk about timing. How about that? I mean, I brought up the Justin Bieber article because that's the first thing that popped up, but think about that, man.
Uh,
This guy
yeah,
finally coming out and saying, I'm struggling.
uh, yeah,
It's big, man. It's different. It's different from being on a flight and stuff happening. But
yeah,
oof, yeah, I mean it's proof's in the pudding right there. He laid it out. I mean,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. And I think one of the major takeaways, both on the musician side and folks like us, you and I, who are really, really into music, and other people all around the world are into music, is it's it's gonna affect you, regardless. And sometimes there's songs that go out there and they're bubblegum pop or whatever, but I mean it's going to affect you regardless because you heard it at the right time. Or something happens in your life and it affects you so much that you need to put down these lyrics because I'm going to record it one day. I mean, that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really deep song, and I've said it on here before. Like when you hear a song for the first time, like this song, it's an upbeat song. It doesn't feel like what it's meant to be. And that's an impressive thing to accomplish in songwriting. Um, but yeah, that I to be honest with you, today or this week was the first time I really looked into all of this stuff
Yeah.
and hearing all these stories from you and from the past and all that stuff. It really shows you that this song hits hard.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. I mean,
but so to on a lighter side of it,
okay.
on that side, let me get this out of the way. So my first thought of it, first time I heard it. So I was born in 95. First time I heard it was 90 or 2006. So it was, I don't know, November 2006. I'm in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico with family. It's a tailor-made golf program thing. So we made a family vacation. So today, for the date out there, June 17th, we're a little behind on posting here, but June 17th happens to be my late grandfather's birthday. He was on that trip with us. First time we heard it, my sister and I singing it out there. That's a deep memory for me. Um, but then also, I'm 14 years old. My sister is 11. We decided to come up with our own lyrics for it.
Oh my goodness. This is
And to this day, I still remember them. So, Alex, I hope you do too. And if you don't, I'm going to remind you. So, here we go. It was Bye Bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my milkshake to the filler, but that filler was dry. And good old McNuggets were drinking cola and Sprite, singing, This'll be the day I eat my fries.
hashtag McDonald's.
So to take such a funny memory and a funny story like that, it shows like when a kid hears the song for the first time,
Oh
they have no
yeah.
clue the depth of it, the like what it means. And it, damn, man, talk about the name of this podcast, Earworm. Nailed it. I mean, this is a song you can, like I said earlier, you can go years without hearing. And the second you hear him come in, it's I'm back to Mexico in 2006.
Damn. That um YMZ. Thank you. That was perfect. That was great. You just put a great, and I don't mean this, just a nice, easy way to describe what the actual definition of an earworm is. Man, you're good.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect spot to end it.
Ah, all right. You are the man, sir. We're the men. How about that?
We're the men. Look at us. Couple men over here doing our thing. Quick update before we go. Phillies are winning 3-2, bottom of the sixth. Go Fat
Look at
Boy.
you,
Go
Kyle
Schwarber.
Schwarber. Good man. Zach, next week's your week. You want to leave some breadcrumbs for our listening audience, for our listeners, for our folks?
Be honest with you, I got nothing off the top of my head, but I'm gonna find something. It's gonna be different, maybe a little. You know what? I did get I was talking to my mom earlier, and she said, "How about you talk about a little Pink?" You know, she's a
There you
local
go.
girl,
I think
great
it,
music.
I think
So
there was
maybe.
I think there was pink on my microphone right when you said it too.
Oh man, that's a sign. That's a sign. All right, so how about we dabble with some Pink?
Here we go.
I don't know what song. Maybe I've seen her live. Seen her live. She's a great show. So yeah, let's get into some Pink. Shout out, Mom. Family Day.
Yeah, I think I met your mom a couple weeks ago or last week.
You did.
But yeah. All right, Zach. To all our listeners, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody. Hey, follow us. I'm slacking. We're still not on podcast, but follow us on YouTube. Hit us on Instagram. Let us know. Let us know what you want to talk about.
Boom shakalaka.